Well, hi guys. Finally got some boring mill work in here, and I thought I'd show you what's going on. Uh, this is the first job. I got another one here too. This axle housing off an 8400 John Deere. So we got it mounted up to an angle plate. There's a bushing hole back in there we're working on. You can kind of see it there with my light. That's needs to be bored out and sleeved. So I'll see if I can get some boring action here for you after a while. So that's project number one. Now next one, I go around over here. I got another 8400 rock shaft repair. Those two big holes down there got to be bored out and re-sleeved. I did one of these previously, but I only had to do one side. Now this time, both sides are done. I mean, it took out both sides basically. So I get done with this axle shaft tomorrow. Then I'll be getting this one up on there, and we'll be line boring both holes out with the same tool to bore both holes basically. And then bore one through one hole, move over and then bore the next hole, come back out, reset, bore that hole, go back bore the next hole. So then when I'm finally done, both holes should be the same size. So that's about it for right now. I'll get see if I can get a camera set up on here and get a little boring action. I need to find something for a little better light because it's kind of dark in there. Even for me just watching it, and for you guys on a video. So we'll get some of that stuff set up. Trying to use my flashlight in here too to get some good light in there. It's hard to get anything in there. when I'm working in I call it a blind hole like that, you gotta get stops set up so you know where to start and stop at. So along the side of my mill, there's a scale down here. So I put a mark. See, the magic marker, so all I do is mark it right where I think about when it's going to start. And then as you see, this thing is adjustable. Actually, you can get down to the thousandths with this. And then I use a dial indicator over here. So when this comes up against the dial indicator, I go about 150 thousandths, and I know that's where I want to stop at. So I don't have a, that's my poor man's DRO, I guess. I don't have one for this machine, but anyway, that's kind of the setup and what it looks like. So I'll finish this one and move on to the next project. Alright, so we're moving on to project number 2. I got the part up on the table, and I did one of these before, but this one's a little bit different because the other one I only had to do one hole on, and this one's going to have both holes done. And after doing the first one, I decided I could use some of these blocks. So I purchased 2 sets of these 246 blocks, because there's a, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a machined off surface underneath there what the blocks are sitting on. So that should help out a little bit. There's my setup for holding it down. It just happened that those 3 holes line up with the 3 grooves in my table. Yeah, this one's got both of these holes are wore out. This one and this one. So we're gonna bore through this one and then come over here and bore through this one. And so we'll have a line boring bar going from there into the tailstock when I get that set up. But, and you see there's supposed to be an edge in there. Well, if you look up to the top, up in this corner up here, well, that's all gone. So these holes are egged out. So I'm gonna have to bore them out and make a sleeve for them like I did on the other one, but this time it's both of them. So we're gonna be using a different strategy on it. We'll use there's the boring bar right there. I think it's either 2 inch or slightly over 2 inch. I can't exactly remember, but so when I get that set up and start doing some boring, we'll get some videos of that. Oh, we got started boring on this job, and it's working out all right. I can bore this one out here in this position. I have my spindle all the way in. And then after I'm through boring this hole out, I have to run the table up here a couple inches. Then I feed the spindle back out over to here and lock the spindle in, and then I can feed it again and feed the table and bore this hole out. And that's a 52 millimeter boring bar. And it seems to be working pretty good. I've been doing a little boring in here already. I know, just here I got the edge out of there. You can see in there, try to get my light in there. Got the edge bored out on both of them. And we're just starting to touch on some of the rest of the housing there, so we'll see how far it goes before it cleans up, and I'll try to get you some shots of the boring holes out. Oh, it's 5/8 high-speed steel bit I'm using. Well, guess what I about forgot to do? I was going to show you some footage of me boring these holes out, and I just about forgot about it. So actually, I got the holes bored out. You can see anything in there? Not, I don't know. Lighting's not good in them holes, but maybe this one a little better. There you can kind of see down there on the bottom. So we get any light in there. Got them all cleaned up anyway. But I'm ready for my last pass now. So I'm using a high-speed steel cutter, and there's no adjustment on it, you know, other than most of the time I take the scale and I use it to go out like a 32nd or 64th, something like that. Now when I'm getting down to my final pass, which that's where I'm at now, I set up an indicator over here, and I put the tip on the end of the cutter, and you can loosen the cutter up and move out and use the indicator here to, you know, so you know how far you're going out. So like right now I'm taking about a 40 thousandths total cut, so I move this out 20 thousandths, and that should get me set up close enough to where I'm not hitting an exact number. I'll make the bushings fit the holes. So the first hole is set up with the spindle in the machine, and on this end we got a bushing there and a bushing there. So there's 8 inches of brass bushing from here to there on that 52 millimeter shaft. Then when I move to the next hole, I have to adjust the table a little bit, and then I run the spindle out to this hole. So I got to do a little shifting and shuffling there in between times, or from one to the other anyway. But I'll see if I can't get this thing fired up and show you a little boring action in there. Set up and move it over to the next one, and I'll show you some of that. Alright, so we got through our first hole. Now everything's changed a little bit. We're over here ready to go through our second hole, and you see our spindle is clear through the first hole, come out of the machine, and we've got a lot of our bar sitting out here. So we can get her done. I might show you a little bit more when the, I think I'm gonna do some when the cutter is coming out of this hole. So you can kind of see that. And that's it. Well, that should be it for me line boring these holes out. Looks like I got a few chips around here to clean up. But got the holes bored out anyway, that's the important part. Now I'll have to make the bushings for it. I'll do that in the lathe and pull them in. Then this job will be complete. So just wanted to say thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little video. I know I really love running this old boring mill. Didn't know a thing about it, but keep learning all the time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and make any comments. It's always fun to read those, and so we'll see you on the next one.